You're tuning into the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, the only wrestling podcast covering WWE, AEW, and TNA. Let's get uncooked, uncorked, and uncensored.
What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, the Hot Commodity Ant C, and you are checking out my All Elite Wrestling Dynamite recap from July 9th, 2025 in Garland, Texas. This is the go-home episode right before All In, which is taking place today. Probably as I'm recording this, it's about to start. You can check it out on BT Sport, I think, and other sites. You could buy it through your cable provider. I'm going to watch it through a piracy app, so that's how I'm going to watch AEW today. A lot of wrestling this weekend, so let's dive right into the action. AEW TBS champion Mercedes Mone comes out, and Mercedes says, "Toni, darling, let's get to it. Let's have a civil conversation tonight." And then AEW Women's Champion Timeless Toni Storm comes out with Luther. Toni says, "Mercedes, two things are from Texas, and I am at least one of them." Mercedes says, "This Saturday there will be nowhere to hide." Toni says, "Who says I'm hiding? Hit my music." I'm sorry, so Toni Storm appears on the Titantron, and then she comes out. Mercedes says, "I see you brought champagne. Let's have a civil toast, a toast to me." And then Toni says, "Save your performance of bullshit for your entrance. I warned you that I'm not like the others. You have the authenticity of a spray tan in a rainstorm, the emotional depth of a kiddie pool. You are a fraud. I found myself in this belt, and those belts are masks you hide behind. What are you so afraid of?" Mercedes says, "We have walked similar paths, but we're nothing alike. I'll always be better than you. I've been to hell and back, and I made the devil my bitch. That title is my destiny. I am the alpha and omega of AEW." Toni says, "Fantasies don't exist. One day we all will die. All that matters is one moment. You will look at me and know you fear an ordinary life, and I fear an ordinary death. You deserve all the titles, but not this one. You will go down as the woman who just didn't win the big one." And Mercedes says, Saturday, she fucks up. And she says, "It's on." And then Mercedes goes to attack, but Toni goes for the Monet Maker, but Mercedes runs out. I'm looking forward to this title match at All In. It was funny that Mercedes fucked up and said Sunday because WWE Evolution is taking place Sunday. But I have a feeling Mercedes is going to win this one. I love Toni Storm, and I think she's the better wrestler. But I have a feeling that it's going to be Mercedes to walk away with the AEW Women's title. They're not going to build her up all of this just to have her lose once she gets the first title opportunity. We then get a promo from AEW Champion Jon Moxley. Moxley says, "Adam Page, I have never lost a war of attrition. You think you can survive longer than me? Will you hold to live under the pressure? I think you're pathetic. You have one chance to prove me wrong. Texas Death, you are all in this time, whether you like it or not." Big promo here from Jon Moxley. He's going to take on Hangman Adam Page in a Texas Death match at All In. We'll talk more about that later on. We see the Young Bucks arriving to the arena. And then we see a tag team match. Brody King and the Ring of Honor champion Bandido taking on Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita with Don Callis and Lance Archer in their corner. Bandido lands a tornado DDT to Fletcher. Brody King hits a black hole slam to Fletcher and then a cannonball for a 2 count. Fletcher lands a Michinoku driver to Brody King. Bandido lands a Hurricane Rana roll up to Takeshita for a 2. Bandido's Super Hurricane Rana to Takeshita. Brody chokes Fletcher. Bandido lands a frog splash for a 2 count. Brody accidentally crossbodies into the railing. Bandido lands a really cool looking springboard moonsault to Fletcher on the floor. And then the end comes when Takeshita lands a Raging Fire to Bandido. And Konosuke Takeshita has pinned the Ring of Honor champion here on Dynamite. We then get our next match, Ricochet defeating Blake Christian. The Gates of Agony come out and attack Blake Christian on the floor, allowing Ricochet to hit the Spirit Gun and Vertigo. And Ricochet gets the win with some help of Gates of Agony after the Gates of Agony destroy Blake Christian. We go backstage and see the AEW Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Syndicate, cannot find their titles. However, we find out Jet Speed have stolen them, and they're going to go after Jet Speed during the night. We then have Mark Briscoe and MJF come out for MJF's talky-talk is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. You're a stupid redneck hick. And then he starts mocking a southern accent. And he says, there will be no talky-talk. How about you take a walk to your meth lab and feed your inbred children some shoe leather and chicken free. Briscoe says, it sounds like you need a country ass whooping. I'm proud to be a redneck. You're a bankrupt man. You're morally bankrupt and have no soul. I see right through you. You're now going to talk some shit about my brother. MJF then goes on to say, I would never say anything bad about your brother. He's a great human. I do pity your brother because while he's up there, he has to look down at what you've become. He's rolling in his grave. He's had to see you become a joke. If he were here, he'd say, chicken, it shouldn't have been me in that accident. It should have been you. And then Mark Briscoe attacks MJF. The Hurt Syndicate come out and go after Mark Briscoe, but then Jet Speed attack the Syndicate, destroying them, going after Bobby Lashley's leg. We then see the Patriarchy come out, and Christian Cage attacks MVP with chair shots, and then Christian Cage goes after Bobby Lashley's with a chair. We're going to see a triple threat match at All In. The Hurt Syndicate defending the tag titles against Jet Speed and the Patriarchy. Next up, we have a fatal four-way match. The winner gets the number 2 slot in the Women's Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal. Megan Bayne with Penelope Ford taking on Thekla versus Queen Aminata versus Tay Melo with Anna Jay. Queen Aminata flies onto everyone on the floor. Bayne lands a Falcon Arrow to Thekla for a 2 count. Bayne military presses Thekla onto everyone on the floor. Bayne then lands a sit-out powerbomb to Queen Aminata, and Megan Bayne and Chris Statlander will open the Women's Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal. She was the right woman to win. I think all the ladies look good in this match, but Megan Bayne is definitely someone that I'm looking forward to seeing in that Battle Royal. Next up, we have one third of the trio's champion, Samoa Joe, taking on Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler lands a missile drop kick and bites Samoa Joe's ear, but Joe applies the coquina clutch and Yuta taps out. After the match, Gabe Kidd attacks Samoa Joe until the Ops come out and make the save, and we're going to see the trio's champion, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Kota Ibushi defending against I think it's Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Gabe Kidd. Next, we have our all-star main event. Powerhouse Hobbs, Shibata, Will Ospreay, and Hangman Adam Page taking on Claudio Castagnoli, AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, and the Young Bucks. Adam Page lands a flying moonsault to everyone on the floor. Claudio and Moxley double powerbomb Powerhouse Hobbs through the announce desk. The Young Bucks land an EVP trigger to Shibata, and Moxley applies a Bulldog choke. Shibata taps out. After the Dark Riders and Bucks attack Adam Page, but Swerve Strickland appears on the Titantron. Swerve says everything between us Bucks has been about control. This is how vengeance reads. And then Swerve Strickland uses an excavator truck to crush the Young Bucks limo. The babyfaces take control in the ring, and Swerve lands a Swerve Stomp to the Bucks, ending Dynamite with the babyfaces having full control. This does not look good for the babyfaces heading into All In. If they have control, I feel like it's going to be a heel situation at All In. I'm excited for the pay-per-view. Dynamite was good. I give it a B. Decent matches. My favorite match, though, I don't know. There wasn't a favorite match of mine. It was just a basic night of AEW. So tune into AEW All In and make sure you subscribe, like, hit the notification bell. I'll be dropping my SmackDown recap, Saturday night's main event recap, All In recap, and Evolution recap. A lot of wrestling taking place. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.